What is going on, everybody? This is the Undefeated by Choice podcast, and I am your host, Matt, the Gadari Oyler. The premise of the show is to bring on athletes or anybody involved with fitness to help bring you motivation, inspiration, and good tips to be the best you. Before we get into anything, I need to thank Foley's MMA. Check them out online. Check out their class schedule. Come feel the vibe of this place. It's awesome. I'm going to thank them for opening their doors to us and giving us a home. We also want to thank myteamtrainer.com, the best speed and agility drills you're going to get for only $5 a month. Also, go check out store.undefeatedbychoice. We're not Louis Vuitton, but we are undefeated in comfort. So go check it out. Without any further ado, let's get to the show. All right, we are here with the one and only, my best friend in the entire world, Tasha Pineapple Aiono. I've been trying to get you on my podcast our entire friendship, because I've been doing a podcast our entire friendship, and I finally made it happen.
I know.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
I love you.
So we just finished up a workout, and you play full contact women's football, so we went over some football drills for you. A very position-specific drill for cornerbacks. You want to talk about it? Anything you liked about it? If you hated it, go ahead, let me know. I will never do it again. Yeah, right.
No, it was great. Yeah. You won't make me do it again. No, it was good. I liked, I think it was very sport-specific, mostly because of the fact that you incorporated a way for us to be able to look at the quarterback and still cover a lot of yards as a DB. Mm-hmm. I think some drills, there's a lot of spinning and turning, where in football, you have to stay with your wide receivers. And that drill, you're able to take it and, to the next level, kind of. So we started out with just cones, and we went into actually incorporating a churn to stay with your receiver. Yeah. So I thought it was good.
Yeah. I don't know where I came up with it. I mean, I don't think there's any original drills out there anymore. I think it's all just variations of other drills. But this is one I just thought of because I'd watch a lot of people doing cone work, and then I'd see like them running around the cone, and I'm just like, in no sport, in no athletic maneuver do you really do that. Yeah. Do you really run around a cone? Yeah. You just plant your foot and go the other way. That's just what you do, and it's what you practice.
And it's actually more natural to do that.
Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah, your body wants to do that. It doesn't want to turn in all the, and it's just, and so, I see a lot of people, they're so good at it, and I'm like, that's a useless movement, and you're not going to use it on the field. So I wanted to build a speed and agility drill that was an actual drill that would be applicable to the game. And then I wanted, you need to stay focused on the quarterback, where their eyes are, you're following them. And so to be able to move and change in direction and be able to watch me and see where we're going. So if anybody wants to try the drill, it's, you set the cones up in a star pattern, and then you run a star. You just create a star, and you can have a quarterback turn to each one of the cones, and then to turn at what time. And then when you hit the top cone, you turn and go, just like you're following your receiver all the way out.
That was good.
Super fun drill. And that's that. So
that was that.
Good. Tasha and I have trained together
hundreds.
Since the beginning of our friendship.
Yep.
Our very first hangout was a training session.
It was.
So her coming here, it's just it's pretty much second nature.
It is.
I remember took you to the airport once, and I was just like, oh, we got some time, and we just pulled off and went to a park and worked on fumble drills. Yeah. I was like, we don't want you dropping the ball. Let's work some fumble drills. That's our spare time. Is hey, let's go run some drills. So,
always.
So it's kind of just
on vacations, on hangouts.
Yes, yep. Yeah. Everywhere, it's always just drills, and we get competitive with each other.
We do.
Sometimes we're elbowing each other on the beach, but you were there from the birth of my team trainer. Me deciding I want to work specifically with athletes and I want to train with athletes was just kind of started with you. I was doing regular bodybuilding type of training before, and then you were like, I play football, and we'll get into that, but you were just saying, I've just started playing football. Yep. And I was like, girl, football is my bread and butter. Yep. That's what I know inside and out. If you want to be good at this game, I can help you be good at this game. And of course, meeting you and having seen the type of just determination you have, I was like, yeah, I want to work with athletes. And basically, I want to work with female athletes because I'm not going to talk bad about male athletes. I've done that enough. But female athletes, you guys put a lot more into it, and we're actually going to we're going to talk about that. But let's talk about you're probably, I've say this to everybody, you're probably the most accomplished female athlete out there. Like, oh man. The levels that you've played at and the things that you've accomplished, there's not many, if anybody, who can match that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about where you started. Where did you start? How did you even get into athletics at all?
Okay, well, I started playing soccer when I was around 6 years old. I think I did a lot of different sports. I tried, basketball, softball, karate. Little kids, they all get into their little things.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't drop soccer. It was just kind of like I loved it instantly. It was a quick little bond there. And I started out playing with the boys. I played with the boys, and I played, actually, when I was around 10, I played up on like a U12 team. When I was 12, kind of, played up. And then I finally went to my own age, and this is when I'm playing on all girls. I played on a premier club team my entire club years, I think that's around, you end club at 18. So from 12 to 18, I played on a Division I Premier League team, and we traveled around the whole country. We did big tournaments, major tournaments. There's some tournaments around the U.S. that are only invite only, and so our team was invited to a few of those, and it was pretty cool because we got to play at the highest level for our age in the country. So it was pretty awesome. I played in high school. My first year, when you go to high school, you're a freshman. Our team decided to stay together as a club, and so a lot of the girls stayed in our club because we felt that maybe the level of soccer isn't as high in high school. Right. Whereas in football, high school football is huge.
Yeah, that's the premier. But in soccer,
exactly.
It's the clubs are usually higher up than the high school teams.
They're a lot higher, and that's where you get recruited for colleges and things like that. So I decided to play with my club team that year, and then I found out how much fun high school was. All my friends were like, it's so fun. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have that experience too. So I went and played high school for 3 years, and I played on the varsity team for that. That was pretty awesome. My high school team won state the year I did not play, which was a bummer. But we always got to playoffs, and we always did well. So I was able to get some pretty cool achievements in high school, different MVPs and awards and that, and, first team recognitions and things like that. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was fun. As far as club goes, our team, we'd won state championships, regionals and things like that. And there's it's not really a club, it's like a team called ODP, and that stands for the Olympic Development.
Okay.
And they have one in every single state. And it actually, whereas club goes by your birthday, that's kind of how ODP is, and it goes by the year you were born. So I played on the 1988 team. And so what they do is every single girl that's interested in the state of Utah goes. They have a tryout, and it's every girl born in 1988. So at this tryout, there's hundreds of girls there. Yeah, hundreds. Yeah. And they pick, they chop it all down.
And it's an open invitation.
Open.
Like you're, as long as you're interested, you can go.
As long as you're interested, you can go, and as long as you're in the right age, they have an age for every year. I think you start at age 14 or something, but whatever year you are, you can go to that tryout. And so I went to that, and I was able to. Well, what they do is they have hundreds of girls come, and they chop that number down to, I think, around 25, and that's the Utah State team. And then they pick 18 of those girls to go travel around. Oh, wow. And so I was chosen to be on the Utah team, and it was pretty rad. I was stoked about that, and I was also chosen to be on the traveling team. So there's the 18 to 21 girls chosen, and
so is there like a home team and then a traveling team?
Like well, just some girls don't travel.
Bigger? Okay.
Yeah. Some girls don't go, but there's the traveling team, and we got chosen to go to this camp. It's a regional camp. So all the state teams from every state go to this big, huge soccer camp. And it's like the best of all the girls, they go to Moscow, Idaho. and they host like all the teams there. You stay in their dorms and you just kind of play in these different states.
Yeah.
So I was chosen to go to that, and it was pretty awesome. I was able to, meet all these. I mean, it's like the best of the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you have major colleges coming in. You have a lot of the U.S. coaches there, and everyone gets to see you. And
so all your recruiters, all your like college coaches are going to be there.
Yep.
And then the clubs end at 18, right? So they're not more going to be more club coaches there, right? This is like you're going next level. This is all next level.
Yep, next level. So you actually end ODP also at 18, so before you go to college. Mm-hmm. I mean, high school. Mm-hmm. College. Sorry, yes, college. And so all that kind of stuff kind of ends before college. All that's kind of to push you to get some kind of scholarship. So I went to a lot of recruiting trips and things like that. I got a bunch of different offers to some schools. I got some offers to some D1 schools that I was really interested in. And then I got offered to go get a full ride at BYU Hawaii. And I decided, well, Hawaii is awesome. And I've always wanted to go there.
I love your choices. High school's fun. I'll go play for high school. Hawaii. I'll go to Hawaii. It's beautiful. It's Hawaii. I'll go there. Yeah. You know you're gonna stand out wherever you're at, so you're just like, I'll go do whatever. I'll go have the most fun possible, and I'll be successful at the same time. Good choice. Good call. Anyways, so
I went there.
Before we get to college, though, I want to step back. I want to talk about when you said very first you were playing on the boys teams.
Yeah.
So were there not enough girls playing soccer at that time, so they didn't have girls teams, or what? I mean, is it just because you're so young you guys can play together, or what?
Well, when you're young, they have like little indoor leagues, so the boys are mixed up. But as I got older, I played on a couple girls teams, and then with the boys, I don't know if it was like there was girls teams.
Yeah.
I think it was better competition.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. But I didn't play with them long. I was really excited to like make friends and be with my friends' teams, and soccer's so like fun socially that it kind of sucks you in.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was a higher competitiveness, but then I decided, I'm just going to play up.
Yeah.
And play a couple years up and get a different competitive vibe like that.
Yeah.
And it was good because, 2 years on a competitive soccer team is a big difference in like ability, know. So it was it really, I think, helped me boost me at like a really young age to play up all those years for sure.
Well, the reason I asked is because I'm going back to a conversation that I had with another player on the Falcons on your football team. Oh. She grew up playing football with the boys, and then there was like a certain point where the boys at that point just got stronger. The boys, they just hit puberty at a certain point and they just get stronger. And although technically she was way better than him, and her coach admitted it and said, you're technically a better player. Yeah. It just came down to there was a strength thing at that time just because of age and puberty. But what I love is that I feel like that doesn't apply in soccer. In soccer, it's technique all the way. It's speed and agility and technique all the way. Strength, I don't think really plays a factor, and so you don't get sidelined because you're a girl. Like you would get to run with the guys, and as long as you're better than them, you're on the field. Yeah. And I like that because I'm obviously a very big advocate in female sports, and I think that there's so many sports that there's not a gender difference, and I think soccer is one of them. Yeah. That there's not a gender difference.
Yeah, you have a lot of co-ed things in soccer. You know? I remember growing up, we'd play the boys teams, and you do notice a difference once they get a little older, just because they get so fast. Right. But the game is a little bit faster played. Yeah. But a girl can hop in. Yeah. And play with them. Yeah. And do well. But I mean, we'd play some boys teams, and they'd always be like, what the heck? Because we'd knock them over, and they'd always get upset.
Oh, yeah. When I played indoor, the girls were way more aggressive than the guys. I'd be like all, gentle up against the wall, and then I'm just getting slammed. I turn around, some little 100-pound girl just So, I know
it's pretty gnarly out there.
Yeah. But, and so like I was saying, I want to be very clear, like it was just because the males hit puberty at that time. Because like you said, there comes a time when they get faster, but then that evens out. Like they hit their peak speed at a little earlier, but then women catch up.
Yeah.
And so then it comes to speed again, because like when I was playing when I was older, it was like the same. It was the same speed. And like I just think people need to be more conscious. Like there's and what I'm gonna get into later about football is that like athletics is athletics, sports is sports, and it's entertainment.
For sure.
And doesn't matter if it's a guy or girl. Like if they can play, they can play.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. And that's all that we should focus on. And we should stop trying to be so gender specific. I mean, if they can play together, soccer, they can play together.
Yeah.
And so I love that you started out actually just playing with the boys.
Yeah.
And that you went for so long with the boys.
And another thing too is like, what's funny is when you're younger, well, I'm short, but it's like you start out playing the boys and all the girls are so much taller.
Yeah.
And it's like these little tiny boys running around, these big old tall girls, and all of a sudden, a few years later, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of funny.
Yeah. Were you ever taller than the boys? I don't imagine that.
I was like,
I don't imagine that. I just imagine you're always like
I know.
short. You're always here to me. No matter what age. No matter what age, you're here to me.
I know. I know. It's ridiculous.
No, okay. So now, I wanted to talk about that. Now we're gonna go back to college. You're in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You're just sitting on the beach all day playing soccer all day and just living the greatest life possible. Go ahead. But get into that. How was that?
Yeah. So my plan was only to commit for 1 year because I was like, I'm gonna do this big school thing. I'm gonna go, love it. But I went to Hawaii for a year and then I loved it. I went again. I lived there forever. I coached after the college team, but college was great. I got, I was able to make a couple of records there and break some, do some things that I think today they still haven't.
Okay, well, mention them.
So
mention them.
Cool.
Brag about yourself.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I brought you on here, was to brag about yourself.
Well, I was able to I was the youngest player to get the MVP award for the conference, which is pretty cool. I was a sophomore.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But, I mean, yeah, it was pretty cool. I got
a huge
first team.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah,
congratulations
awesome.
on
Thanks.
that.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked. I came home from college one winter, and my family takes me to this rec center, and I'm like, what are we doing here? We walk in, and I have my jersey hanging in the rec center, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's still there today. And I was like, holy crap. So I had no idea that they...
You know that?
Yeah.
I got to go to second. I got to see this. Pay some respect to the retired jersey.
Too funny. No, it was good. It was a lot of fun. I never once regretted not going to a D1 school. Mm-hmm. I think, you get into getting ready for college and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be on the best team ever, and I want to do all this stuff. And I've talked to so many girls trying to go to find a scholarship, and I have to tell them, soccer's everything right now, and I'm the first person that could be like, soccer's life, you know. But at the end of the day, do you want to be have your dream team? Like, I have a lot of teammates that went to their dream team and had to watch the whole season. Yeah. They watch this on the sideline of their dream team. Yeah. Or do you want to go to a really good school and start and play? Or do you want to go to an okay school and be a star, And so I had to make that choice. I had some different things, but I decided I was going to go to a school that was really well soccer program, a really good competitive program, and work my butt off. I had a coach come to me and say, if you come to our school, you can be a captain as a freshman. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Absolutely not. And no, because in my mind, I don't want to go somewhere where I'm going to be the best. Right. I want to go somewhere where
you got to earn it.
I'm the bottom dog, and I get on top because I worked my way there. Nothing was handed to me, and my coach when I was recruited to Hawaii, he was tough. He pulled me in straight away and said, you can start in this team, but, and I was like, okay, and I was really nervous. I started my first game ever. My first game of college I started, and I got ripped out 10 minutes in. And I was like, what? Give me a minute,
I know your mindset. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh. And he looked at me and he's like, go over there and sit down. And I was like, okay. And then second half, I didn't play again the whole half. And I was like, what have I done? And then second half, he starts me, 10 minutes in, pulls me. And I was like, who is this guy? I'm not doing bad. I'm just this little freshman. Give me a minute. Yeah. And then I had to realize, no, this is, you don't just get a minute. You don't just get it. It's not high school anymore, And he pulled me in his office next week and he said, you can start in this team, but you can never play like you're a freshman again. And I was like, what does that mean? You know, like, what does he mean by that?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to tell you that. He's like, you're done being a freshman. You know, he's like, you're a freshman in school, yes, but in your mind, from now on in soccer, you can never be a freshman again. And I was like, okay. And so I had to really decide how my mind was going to, you know, figure that out. You know, am I going to play scared, timid? What does a freshman, because I knew he wasn't talking about my year in school. You know, he's talking about the confidence, the going on the field and having a presence, you know, being someone that people look to for confidence, for motivation, for leadership. And having a freshman mentality is you're waiting for someone to motivate you, and you're waiting, you know. Yeah. And so I figured my crap out, you know, and I started in every game for the rest of my 4 years there. So it was pretty like that. I felt like I had a quick lesson. It was like one game. Yeah. And I mean, that could have easily been something I struggled with the rest of that season, but I was able to, you know, flip that switch in my mind. But that was one of the biggest lessons I've learned in sports is it all starts here, you know? And he was able to show me that in an annoying way, but in a good way for me.
Knowing you, I see what kind of coach you respond to, and you respond to the coach that just flat out calls you out. Oh, yeah. As much as it hurts, like I see you're like, oh, as annoying as it is. Yeah, as annoying as much as it hurts you, that's who you respond to. And so many people respond to so many different types of coaches. That's why I'm always, anybody who's creating a coaching staff, you don't just create a coaching staff of everybody who's just like you. You have to have every flavor of the rainbow. Yep. You have to have the guy that's coddling you in the corner. You have to have the guy that's cussing everybody out. Yep. You have to have the motivator. You have to have the logistic guy. You have to have everybody because everybody responds to somebody different. But I know you, and we've talked about Coach Rick many times. Yeah, we have. And you respond, and you always have the best relationship with the coach that just flat out is like, I expect more out of you.
Oh, yeah, just gives it to you straight.
So this coach that did that, was that the first time, was that when you started to understand, like, I'm a leader, I need to be a leader, I'm going to have the mindset to come out here be a leader? I mean, cause before that it was fun soccer, right? Yeah. It was just like, we're out here with my friends, we're winning, we're out here, it's a good, like you said, it's a good like social sport. Was this when you that flip finally switched and it was like, I'm a leader. Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to be a leader.
You know, kind of. I mean, in club, we did so well. We would win so much, you know. And I had a couple little things here and there. Like, I mean, I've had some hardships too. You know, I've had some failures. You know, like missing game-winning penalty kicks or losing big games. You know, and I've always kind of been more of a vocal one on my team, but it wasn't. I felt like as demanding, like you're saying, as when I got to college. I think I went in there like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so huge, like I'm, you know, and I had so many expectations of the next level, which it is different. It is a next level, you know, and so I think for him to call me out like that and be like, look, your teammate might be 10 years older than you. I don't care. Tell her if this is what's up. Tell her what's up, you know. And I had to really learn that I can be a wonderful leader on the field and I can be a wonderful leader off the field, and I can demand from my teammates on the field and be their best friends off the field. You know, like I can be a cuddly, warm, loving off the field best friend and then be like, yo, that's not okay on the field. And I felt like because I was able to find the balance, that I think it brought me a lot of respect from my teammates. You know, Tasha loves us, but she's not ever going to expect less than, you know, she's going to expect our best because she's going to give her best. And I think that by having, you know, the experiences that I had before in club and then that, you know, from my coach, it was good for me to know that I can expect from them only what I'm going to give to them, you know. So I would always give 150 and know that I had always had 2% more, and then I was able to preach that to them because they saw me doing it, you know. So I think it was like a good little, I think my coach might have, you know, noticed that I was kind of a vocal one on my club team, and he like brought me in like, oh no, I saw you being on that way on your club team. You're going to do that here because that's why I got you here. Yeah. Like, that's what I want. You're not going to, I want you to, you know. So he saw what he wanted, and then he wasn't really going to let me do anything else. You know, that's what he wanted. So, but it helped me, you know, going on when I played New Zealand, stuff like that. Well, I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay. We'll get there. I want to go back one more time, though. This is the last time we're going to go. This is the last time we're going to travel back in time. So, Nick, I don't know if you can create a little time traveling machine to take us back. Have you always, was it just a natural talent? When you stepped onto the field, were you just naturally
for soccer
one of the better players out there?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
And I want to get
no,
don't at all because people just have their natural things that they're at and they're drawn to them. Like for me, when I stepped onto a football field, I stepped on at 8 years old and I knew the game. I knew the game. I knew how to play it. I just felt it. Yeah. And I was the best player on my team at my position because it was natural. So that you don't shy away from that. Yeah. Like you don't need to be cocky about it. You know, people need to understand, embrace your natural talents and use them. But what I wanted to get to with that is, I'm glad that you said that. Yes, you were good, but you have a work ethic that outshines most people I've ever seen. I remember during the football season last year, you had some fumbling issues.
Yeah.
And you would not let that go. That was I could just see, you were just you would not accept that was an issue, that was a problem.
Yeah.
So with you stepping on the soccer field, a lot of players, they get on and they're good and they start out really good. And then once they start getting some competition and if things start getting harder, they just fall off because they don't have a work ethic. They were naturally good. So where did you get that transition to where you were naturally good, but then you started to get some competition, started to have some failures, and you thought, I'm going to step this up. I'm going to step up my game, and I'm going to get better. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to do that because that is the threshold for so many players where we lose so many amazing players because they have all the talent in the world, but they don't know how to keep working on it. So where was that for you? When did that happen? How did we get there?
Okay, well, I think what's interesting is you kind of have your young kids who you can tell who has the natural talent. You know, like when I was younger, it was, I played up because my mom was like, well, she's a little bit better than, so, and then you see everyone kind of doing their thing, and then all of a sudden you hit an age where all these people that might not have been born with a natural talent have worked their butt off. And so all of a sudden, oh, wow, Susie and whoever's getting really good, it's like, oh, shoot, I got to put some work in, And so, and that's kind of, I realized that at around maybe high school age that I needed to figure out how I enjoyed being, a starter on my team. Yeah. And I decided for myself, I want to be a starter on every team that I'm ever going to be on forever, right? Yeah. I don't care if I'm freaking 80 years old. Yeah. I'll start in the 80-year-old league. You want to be on the field. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I think what really, I don't know, it's hard because even as a kid, 6 years old, on the soccer field, little kids go, they score a goal and run to their mom. Yeah. I was hands on my knees, bent over, watching the game the whole time, and right by my coach. I didn't need anyone. I just wanted to, but I think what drove me to really decide that I was going to, always put in work and that kind of thing is just the knowing that I can be better and knowing that my ability to be better is based on me, knowing that, wow, this girl's really good at dribbling. My gosh, I wish I was that good. And then being in the knowledge of thinking I can be that good. Just and the only thing stopping me is just getting my ball going in the front yard, And so, but a lot of kids don't do that because they coast on their, I'm doing good, like you're saying, but I think I've always kind of had this, I want to be the best, and I mean, I'm not a sore loser. I've lost some games and it's been really hard. But I think I've had situations that have happened to me that really have molded that into me. So, for example, in college, I decided, so growing up, Michelle Akers, she was a center midfielder for the U.S. national team. She was the best header at headers on the soccer field of anyone in the world. I watched her from the stands watching the game, and I decided I'm going to be good at heading the ball, right? Because every time she headed the ball, she looked so cool, and it was so awesome. And I was like, I'm going to do that. Yeah. I'm going to. So every practice and everything, I was always the one heading the ball. I'd always practice it on my own. We get to college, my thing was heading the ball. Yeah. I could head the ball. I'm going to score on a corner kick. I'm going to win every ball out of the air. And I, what helped me is I made little things for myself, little goals. Like, if there's ever a 50-50 ball, I'm getting it. And if that girl's 5'11", well, I need to jump a little higher, right? And if she's 5'2", well, I'm going to jump over her. You know, it doesn't matter. And so I had to make that for myself. There's one game when we were playing our rival team. And it was tied. It was almost end of the game. It was just like an intense game. It was raining, and I'm the header. I'm the girl that heads the ball out, right? So they had a corner kick, and I was like, got it. And everyone moved because they trust me. I went to hit the ball, and it went boom right into our own goal. And I looked in the goal with the ball, and I was like, what? Like, I just scored that for, like, what? You know? And it was the worst thing ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm
own goal.
The other team's like, thanks, dude. You know, and I'm like, holy crap, how are we going to do this? Anyway, I had to decide that I needed to forget about that the rest of the game, right? But after the game, I took the ball to the corner of the field, and I sat with the ball for a little bit. I sat there and I had to make a decision. I am weird. I
love it.
I took it to that corner where she scored, where she freaking kicked it in. Then I sat with the ball and I just sat there like, how? Like, how did this happen? You know? And I gave myself, which I don't know what a lot of athletes' mentality is, but I would highly recommend every athlete giving themselves a minute to critique themselves and think about what's up. And then putting it behind you, right? So I took the ball and I went there because I'm weird like that. And I sat and thought, how in the heck? How in the freaking heck did I let that happen? And I was super like, Tasha, you did this wrong, that wrong, this wrong, that wrong. And then I stood up, called my mom, told her what happened. Cried probably because I was just like so mad. And then I never thought about that again. In that same way, that negative way. What I did do though was I grabbed a teammate and I said, can you help me with something? Every day this week. She's like, sure. So every single day, we went out to the field an hour before practice, and we kicked corner kicks. And she kicked me about 1 million corner kicks every day before practice, every day after practice for an entire week. And I did the same thing, the same exact thing, but I did it the right way about 1 million times. And then, I mean, that's never happened again, you know? But it's things like that I decided to take the responsibility on myself and say, am I going to get better at this? Or am I going to say, oh, I messed up. It's never going to happen again. I'm better than that. I could have said that, and I could have maybe never made that mistake again. But I needed to know that I was putting in the work to never make it again, and so that I'm confident that it will never happen. You know, fumbling the football. I decided I was so annoyed at that, and I thought about that corner kick story, and I was like, oh, heck no. Like, I don't care what it is. I'll sleep with this damn ball if I have to. Like, I'm not doing
Carried
this
it with
again.
You everywhere.
And you know, for a week I had that ball during warm-ups and all the way through conditioning, you know, and it wasn't because I'm superstitious. Like, if I drop the ball, the reason for that is because if, as an athlete, you put in the mental effort and the physical effort to be better, you'll be better, right? And so I think as a kid, I noticed that people were getting better. People were, you know, some people were better than me, some people weren't, but I decided for myself that I'm going to take that into my own hands and say, well, I can hope no one gets better, or I can ensure no one gets better. And so I decided to insure it, you know? And I mean, anytime you put insurance on something, you're bound to pay off in the end, you know? So that was kind of my thing. And I don't know if there was like a time exactly when I was like, I'm never gonna, you know, but just an accumulation of different things, you know, like missing a game-winning PK. You bet I've shot 1 billion of those to this day, you know, because it was so hard. So I think a lot of athletes shy away from their failures, but, you know, in my mind, failure, and I'm kind of quoting, I think I heard this on a podcast somewhere, but by redefining the definition of failure, it actually turns into a positive thing. You know, like for me, I can fumble the ball and I'm a failure for that, or I can say I'm only a failure at fumbling the ball if I never try to do better. I'm only a failure at this if I put zero effort in making that become a positive thing in my life, you know? And so, you know, learning that from different failures as a child, as a kid, helped me learn that failure isn't even a real word. And if I take a failure, quote unquote, and turn it into a positive thing, well, you know, that was never a failure in the first place at all. So I don't know, that just kind of...
Well, I love what you do, what you've done, and what you explained is, and this is what I've seen, is that, like, when you have a failure or whatever, you focus on, like, the specific of what it was. It wasn't just like, oh, I had this header, but I'm really good at headers. I'm the header girl. That's my thing. You said, no, I messed up in this one header in this one instance, in this one particular situation, so I'm going to work this particular situation over and over again. And again, going back to like the fumbling thing, you said, oh yeah, I carried the ball, during practice. But it was way more specific than that, because I remember I would go and watch your practices, because we train after your practice. So I'd go watch your practices, and you'd always have a ball, but you're always throwing it up, catching it, throwing behind your back, just having a good time with it. And I'm like, Tasha, you're not practicing holding the ball. Yeah. You're throwing, you're dropping the ball because they never sit still in your hands. Yeah. And I was like, hold the ball. And so when you went through that week of always having the ball with you, you would stand there. And even though you wanted to have fun, you were like joking around, talking, you kept the ball. You kept the ball there. Yeah. And that is where so many people fall short. Like, so many players be like, yeah, well, no, I was, I had the ball with me all practice. Well, yeah, but you were tossing it up and bobbling it around, or you weren't. You weren't working. You could have rested on the fact that you're known as the header girl. So that was just a fluke thing. Yeah. But you're like, nope. For some reason, in this situation, there was a problem. Yeah. And we're gonna fix that.
And I love that's cool that you picked up on that too, because it's important that because I fumbled the ball, I'm not now a horrible football player.
Right.
So, and if I scored that header goal, it's not that I need to go relearn how to head the ball. Like, so many people are like, well, now I just suck at this and I'm just the worst. It's like, you need to have some level of still confidence in yourself. Like, I am confident that I can do that. Yeah. And I head the ball, but I had a little hiccup. And so I'm not going to, reinvent the wheel and figure out how to be a soccer player again. Right. Like, I'm still a soccer player. I'm still a football player. Yeah. I just need to pick that up. So I think you totally hit it on the head where you mess up, it doesn't mean you're no longer athletic or you're no longer an athlete. It's just that every single athlete in the world has things they can do better on. Yeah. It's deciding whether you're going to pinpoint those individual things and build those up, because, LeBron James, he's a great freaking basketball player. But I guarantee you talk to him, and there's little things that he works on. Little tiny things. Oh, absolutely. Steph Curry, anyone. Absolutely. Little tiny things, because it's, at the end of the day, it's the little things that you perfect that helps you, get through the game, because sports are made to mess up. Sports are made to have a winner and a loser, and it's the athlete that is going to run harder when they have the opportunity to run harder, who's going to perfect their individual piece of it, to put that into the aspect of a team. That's a team that wins. Yes. It's the individual people that decide to take themselves and perfect their little bitty bit. Yeah. And then everyone comes together, and that's a winning team.
And also being able to analyze those little mess ups. Like, you said you took the ball, and I made a joke that you're so weird. I know. And I love it. I think more people should be weird. I think more people should do things
what is weird?
Like that. Exactly. Yeah. What is weird? I think more people should do things like that, like make a scene of it so that you remember in that moment. I remember you had a game, just your most recent home game that I went to, and you were not happy about the way you played. Yeah. And I sat and watched your game. I watched every single play, and I thought, well, I didn't really watch every single play because I had Maddie with me, and she was just walking up and down the bleachers the whole time. But I was watching as much as I could. And I had plays that I thought Tasha did amazing, and I had plays where I thought Tasha could have done better. Yeah. And after the game, I walk up to you, and I see it on your face, and I'm like, she does not want to talk. And I just gave you a hug, and I said, we're not going to talk about it right now. Yeah. You had to have your moment. You had to have your time and your own. Like, so many people are so quick, they think they're going to lose a player if they allow that player to analyze their play. So they're, no, you did great, but you did this, but you saved the game, but you did this. Like Marcus Williams, New Orleans Saints. I think Marcus Williams, New Orleans Saints misses the tackle. They could have gone to the playoffs. He misses the tackle, and everybody in the locker room is like, yeah, but you got the interception that got us to the game. Yeah. But he missed the tackle. Yep. He doesn't need to stop playing football. He's not a terrible football player. He knows how to play football. He knows how to tackle. And yes, he did get an interception. But he needed to sit with that and come to the realization that I blew it. Yeah. I blew it, and I will never let it happen again. Yeah. And he did say that. He said that was he went back and said, yeah, I will never let that happen again. Yeah. But so many people want to rescue people. And I was like, I remember that I was like, Tasha, I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't need to tell you how great you did. You had great plays, you had bad plays, and that's the game. That's football. I mean, how many plays do you go through in a game? You play both sides of the ball. How many plays do you go through? You're going to have good, you're going to have bad. You want to focus on the good, but you also want to focus on the bad to get better. Yeah, exactly. And you don't want... Think about an athlete who only focuses on the good. Yeah.
like, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you great game.
Yeah.
Except, what about the parts you can improve?
Those
you know?
are the ones that you
if I
lose.
never focus on the things I can improve on, I'll be a mediocre athlete that gets by on my abilities from when I was born.
Yeah.
But like I said, people are going to surpass you, you
Yeah.
know? And so when I was thinking about that same game, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so pissed. So freaking pissed about this, you know?
Yeah.
But like, later on, I was like, yeah, gosh, that sucked. But I'm thankful. Like, I got a pick six that game. I was stoked.
Yeah.
I was freaking stoked. I was, you know?
Yeah.
And it was a close game. We won by 2 points. So
Yeah.
I understand that pick six was a big deal. You know,
Yes.
like, I understand that helped. But if I look back and I don't want to be the type of person, the type of player that only ever highlights the good in my life only, because I have so much to improve on as a person, at work, as a sister, a daughter, a friend, a player, an athlete, anything. It's like, if I only ever think, well, I'm the shit, you know, it's like, well, no, because you can be better. And and if people that don't have the desire to be better, I feel like they have to constantly look at everything good because they're afraid that if they find one little hiccup in their lifestyle, then none of it matters anymore.
Yeah.
When in reality, look for the hiccups and make them better, so you don't have as many hiccups, you know? And look for the things in your life that are not the best, and then make them better. And don't allow seeing parts of yourself that aren't wonderful and making that, you know, write yourself off. Because I appreciate when people point out things that aren't, you know, maybe things about me and athletically or whatever, because I'm like, oh my, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for saying that, because I do want to be better in every aspect. And, you know, part of that's just not being offended. But it really is just your outlook on what you want to be. Do you want to be a player that is coachable, who can improve, who's going to, you know, get better? Or do you want to be a player that only ever gets positive feedback? And because there's those players, I saw those players when I was 5.
Yeah.
I saw those players when I'm 29.
Yeah.
The players that you can only tell them the good.
Yep.
And they have to figure out the bad on their own, you know?
Yeah.
And I just decided, I understand that by someone critiquing me, I can be better, and I want to be the best.
Yeah.
So bring on the critiques. I'll fix them, you know, and because I want to be the best.
I've seen numerous texts from your coaches that you've screenshotted and sent to me. This is what they said. And they're not, you know, they're like, we expect you to do this, we expect you to do that, and they're tough. Yeah. And you're never like, what the hell? Like, I put everything I can into this. I tried so hard. You're like, and I wrote them back. This is what I said back. And it's like, I will do this. I will do that. I will do this. I will do that. And then you actually put in the work to do that. So we're all over the place with this.
We are.
But no, this is so good, because we started talking about all your accomplishments in soccer, and you still have a bunch more accomplishments on the table to talk about. But then we started talking about football.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did you climb the Everest of soccer and then decide, you know what, I'm going to go play a completely different sport that I've literally never played in my life?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So after college, I came back, and I played for the semi-pro team here in Utah, the Real Salt Lake Women. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of crazy. I thought, I got done with college, and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? Soccer's over, you know. And I'm sitting on my couch one day, and my coach writes me and says, what are you doing Saturday? And it was like a Thursday, and I was like, I don't know. And he's like, you're going to come try out for the semi-pro team, Real Salt Lake Women. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not. I had just coached for 2 years. Like, I haven't been playing. Yeah. And he's like, yes, you are. And I was like, okay. So I showed up and worked my butt off. I, you know, made the team. So it was awesome, you know, and we traveled around, and we did really well. And we'd won the national championship in that league, and our team was really good. It was awesome, cool, awesome experience also, because we got to play at Rio Tinto, where the Real men play, and so that was pretty cool. Not 40,000 fans, but the atmosphere was cool. It was pretty dope being in there.
Still there in the stadium.
Yeah, but that was a really cool experience. And then I had been playing there for a while, and the coach that gave me that little freshman experience, you know, telling me about my mindset, it was pretty tough. Yeah. He wrote me one day and was like, look, I have someone that wants to recruit people to play for the Samoa national team. And I was like, whoa, like, hold on, this is not real life, you know? And he's like, look, I don't have very much time. it was in the morning, and he said, today by 4:00, I need to know if you can have a passport, a a picture sent to this email with all this stuff signed. You're going to go to New Zealand for the summer. You're going to train at their facilities. You're going to play for the Samoa national team. It's in Papua New Guinea. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, wait, yeah, like, it was like 5 hours. I had to like make this decision for my, like,
to represent the nation.
Yes. And I was like, oh, I want to. And he's like, hurry up. Like, I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay. So I like hung up. I was like to my boss, like, I got to go get all this done. So I just like rounded everyone up. I had to get like family tree things, all this stuff. And I made it happen. And I was able to go to New Zealand, and I was able to train there and play for the Samoa national team in Papua New Guinea for it was a like South Pacific Olympics. And it was a sports experience like I've never had. You know, it was in good ways and hard ways. Like I learned a lot about myself there. And you know, a lot of it was language barriers, you know, was being like eligibility, being living with a bunch of girls I don't know, they don't speak my language, and I have to go and like, I had some girls be like, why do you want to play soccer so much? Why are you so competitive? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, guys, let's go. Like, I'm like, how I always am. And we have these, you know, some people that are just culturally so different, where soccer's an awesome thing. It's a fun thing, but it's not ride or die, you know, always. And so I was able to teach them a lot about my mentality, and I think it really helped. You know, we ended up losing to the Cook Islands, and so we came third. But I mean, the level of soccer, you know, it was awesome. It was so cool. That experience, I would have never ever, you know, found that anywhere else and doing anything else. And and I got home, and I felt like I got a lot of outlooks even on my whole life. You know, that trip, it was for soccer, but I really feel it was for not soccer at all. You know, it was for me. It was for me. It was for bigger things. Exactly. It was for me to see the world differently. It was for me to see myself differently, my family. You know, it's like almost a whole day behind. Like I can barely talk to people, you know. And so I get home, and before I went there, previously I had some Falcon, or I was playing like a flag team, and I was playing flag football. We happened to play the Utah Falcons, and I was like, "This is a tackle team." I'm like, that's so crazy. I never even heard of that. And there's just one play, which is funny because she's my teammate now, Keisha. I was playing QB or something, and then I was playing QB for flag, and then on offense, on defense, I played like safety or something, and they were killing us. I played like, so it was like a bunch of people just playing for fun. You know, it wasn't like all tackle girls playing flag. The tackle team was just in it, so just for fun. And so we're playing, and Keisha got some ball, and she was like full speed heading down the field, and I was on the opposite side, and I trucked my little way all the way over there. Like I dove after her flag and like pulled her flag out. And everyone was like, what? Like, who is she? Because they don't know. We haven't even lived in Utah.
Keisha's legit.
Top level.
Like, yes.
Top level.
Yeah, and so for you to be able to do that is outstanding right at the very beginning, having never played it before. Yeah. Because she is a top level player.
Absolutely. 100%. She is easily, you know, if not the best, one of the best in her position in the country. So, you know, and I didn't know that. Right. It was just some random chick playing. I didn't know that she was some big time name or this team was a big team. Yeah. I knew nothing. And I remember pulling her flag, hopped up, and I was like, doo-doo-doo. And she was like, what's up with that? And I was like, I don't know who you are. Right? I was just like all in the zone, you know? Yeah. And so, but the Falcons were like, what? Who is that girl? Like, we got to, and now that I'm a Falcon, we are always like recruiting. Oh, so I totally know that they're like, get her on the team. So after the game, Bean, who I know now, obviously, comes up and she's like, have you ever thought about football? I'm like, no, I play soccer. And she's like, come out. And I'm like, I'm good. So I didn't go. Yeah. And it was like a couple of years I didn't go. It was before I went to New Zealand. And then I went to New Zealand, came back. They're like, yo, you ready to come out and try this? You know, and I was like, maybe. Like, let's see. And I was on this like life high, you know. And when I was younger, I had some serious goals with soccer, right? So I wanted to play in college. I wanted to play professional. I wanted to be paid to play soccer, right? So that was always my goal. Like, I want to be a professional soccer player, like, you know, as a kid. Yeah. And those were my goals. I really wanted to get paid. I really wanted to play some kind of pro, all that stuff. I come up from New Zealand, and I'm like, sitting one day and I'm just chilling and I'm thinking, wow, like I have done it.
Yeah.
I did it all. Like, cause I was thinking about them wanting me to play football.
Yeah.
I was like, I might not have played, on the U.S. team, whatever, but my goals were to get paid to play soccer, to play professionally, and, those things. And I really felt this, like, inner peace of, I did that.
Yeah.
Like, I went across the world and played soccer representing a country that of my family, and I was paid to do it. And I was like, holy crap. And I kind of got this, like, little, it was emotional. I was like, that's so cool, and I was just like, wow, I'm proud of myself. And I was able to be like, I'm proud of you, and I think doing that, because I had said no to football for so long, I think it was because I just didn't feel like I'd done it, and my life clock was running out. I'm like, well, how am I ever going to do this, and then I had the opportunity. Then I went to football practice, and I was like, this is different. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
They were like, do you know about football? And I was like, how many points is a touchdown? Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And the coaches are riding me hard to just commit, and play. And I knew I had to pay money and all this stuff. And I'm sitting at home one day in my bed, and I get this text from my coach. He's like, you played or not? Like Rick. And he's like, yes, you are. And I'm
Rick,
like,
no, man,
I'm like, what the heck? And Coach Kyle wrote me, and I sat there, and I was like, I don't know. I do not know about this. I was like, I don't know. And I realized, and I'm laying in my bed, and I realized that I don't know what I want to do. And the reason why is because I'm scared. And I'm scared because it's a new sport. I'm scared because I know nothing about it. I'm scared because I am realizing that I could potentially be horrible at this sport after I was so successful in one sport, and then to play a different sport, and I could totally sink, and I realized that, oh my gosh, you're questioning yourself, and I realized that because I was scared, I had to do it. There was no doubt in my mind. I was like, freak, like I have to, and I wrote him, and I wrote this text out, and I was like, and I'm like making pros and cons, like all this stuff. Then I realized, screw it.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm scared to play a sport, if I'm scared for how I'll be seen, or if I have the work ethic, like, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm not only going to, and I wrote it, and I was like, yes, I'm in. And I sent the text, and I was like, hyperventilating. I'm like, here I am. Like, I gotta go get tackled now, And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I just committed because I'm not scared. And that is my why. The reason why I play football is because I was so scared of how I would do that I almost didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I think you told me, you're like, what's your why? Like, help people find their why, and that was so inspiring from you that I realized, my why is because I almost second guessed myself, and what I could do and what I could be. So, having accomplished what I did, and then finding out that I was almost scared to do it. Yeah. So that's why I play football. Yeah. It's just to prove it to myself that I don't care if I'm 130 pounds running past a 400-pound girl. I can, and I'm not scared to do it, and I will do it, and I'll work my butt off, and I'll be on a freaking back-to-back national championship team, and it's empowering, really. Yeah. It's awesome, and the whole women's football thing is just great.
It's I just want to say, like, your mentality of accomplishing your goals, like, there's so many people who have goals and they go to accomplish them, and then they accomplish them and they think, I'm comfortable now. Yeah. I've done it. And it's in life, like, oh, I want to make this much a year. And then they do it, and then they think they live this comfortable life. But we always need to grow. We always need to challenge ourselves. And without a challenge, you're not going to grow. No matter what you do in life, if you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to grow. And had you come home from Samoa or from New Zealand and been like, I did it, and then you continued to coach and you just continued to be around soccer, your growing would have stopped at that point.
Totally.
You had great experiences, you'd had good stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of lost.
But you accomplished everything you needed to accomplish.
Yeah.
And instead of resting on that, you said, what's next?
Yeah.
What's next? How do I challenge myself next?
Yeah.
And you stepped into a realm of something that you had never experienced and that most women had never experienced.
Yeah.
What you women are doing is something that women haven't had the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing is something that women have not been given that option. And I say this time and time again, the reason I am so supportive of Falcons football, the reason I am so passionate about you guys playing in this league is, one, because I love the game more than anybody.
Yep.
And you girls can legit play. And you guys show the utmost respect to the game that I absolutely love. 2, you guys are creating a world in which my daughter can have every opportunity to do whatever she wants. And without you guys, she doesn't have that opportunity. Yeah. Without you guys stepping up, putting on shoulder pads, putting on helmets, and playing just like the guys do. Yeah. Without that, she doesn't have that opportunity, which is why I'm so passionate about it, and which is why I love that you did that. And which is why when you said I play full contact football and I was sliding into your Instagram DM trying to be your friend, I was like, I will help you. I want to help you. I said, I know this game, Tasha. This is my sport. This is my game. Let me help you. And you and just for you being that person who just says, I've done all I need to do. I've climbed that mountain. Where's the next peak? Where's the next mountain? For you to be able to do that, that is a role model that so many people need to follow. That is a life lesson that so many people need to take into their lives. We all are going to climb our Everest. We all will get to the top. If you just keep going, you're going to get to the top. Once you get to the top, keep going.
Yeah.
Once you get to the top, keep going. Nick, where are we at on time? Are we good? Okay. Tasha, you ready for the triple threat throwdown?
Oh, dear.
You ready for the triple threat throwdown?
I don't know
Nick,
about that.
Put up the triple threat throwdown. Let's get these questions. All right.
Oh, boy.
So we might skip this first question because you already answered it. You might have already answered it.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah. What single event had the biggest impact on who you are?
I was going to say maybe New Zealand. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if there's another one. But I really think...
Meeting me?
That too. Actually, that too. That could,
I mean,
that could
you don't have to, but
that could very well be one.
You don't have to, but I'm just saying, maybe meeting me.
Yeah, as far as personal, personal things where there's not another person involved, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Getting away from every single thing, not just family, not just that America, all my norms, all this stuff. Seeing what I saw in Papua New Guinea, seeing what I, having to go into such unknown territory in a way, and all by myself.
And I know
I
you.
know a dang person.
And I know how hard that is. And I honestly know how hard that is because you're a people person. You're a comfortable person. You love your circle. You love your
to connect and vibe with people I love.
And so for you to just say, I'm going into a new world, like you're adventurous. I know you will do that, but I know how hard that is for you. Yeah. So I know without even knowing you at that time, I know how hard that was and how huge that was for you. And that's probably the exact reason it was such a huge impact on you.
Totally. And because of that, I think that changed me in a lot of aspects where I was able to come back and, I felt like it was such a perfect path. And I know now you're going to laugh because I'm bringing you up. But if it wasn't for that and the mindset that I was in before, I would have never, ever met you.
Yeah.
I would have never, ever played football. I would have never been in, so meeting you, I was able to, I think the combination of experiencing this on my own, coming home, meeting someone that is so in tune with who they are, knows who they are, knows how to help people find who they are, knowing, having that experience without anyone else, and then coming here and meeting someone that it was just perfect timing. If I had met you before then, I would have been like, whatever, I don't know. But I was such on a journey to find everything that I needed to find that I know that I just know when my life's in the right order because people pop into it that I need and people pop out of it that I don't need, you know? And I had great people pop out of my life that I just didn't need anymore and that weren't holding me where I needed to, they were holding me where I didn't need to be.
Right.
And in return, I had people pop in that have led me and continue to lead me and inspire me to be more. But it was having the, courage to go somewhere alone and to allow myself to not have communication with anything that I was familiar with.
Yeah.
That really planted the seed to exactly who I am today. Absolutely. So
I can associate myself with my trip to New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly.
Very similar. And I think anybody who is in need of that in their life, that's that's a very powerful thing to just pack up and go.
It really
to
is.
just pack up and go and experience something new, and it opens your world up. So, number 2 question.
Oh boy.
A little funny, a little less serious. What's the most embarrassing thing that you own?
That I own?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that I own?
Yeah. What's the most embarrassing thing that you own?
Embarrassing. That's so funny. What do I own that's embarrassing?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm like going in my head through all your stuff, and I can't think of anything that I'm like, Tasha.
Oh, excuse me. That's a little rough.
That? I mean, your car before this one was pretty embarrassing to own.
But it wasn't as bad as the minivan I owned. Stop.
Okay.
It was like forest green. And it was broken.
Did it run?
It ran, and
okay,
it had
so it
like
was
a
better
bed
than
in the back.
it was better than the last car that you owned.
Hey,
because that thing did not run ever.
True.
Now you've got a sweet ride, but before
I do,
then,
but the most embarrassing thing I own might have to be like. I own some weird things from like. What's the most embarrassing thing I own?
I don't know.
Me either.
I don't know.
I was gonna say I have like this weird little.
It's hard for someone like you who doesn't really get embarrassed.
I know.
Who owns like who you are. So if you could literally buy like a hat with a unicorn freaking horn on it, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that's me. This is my thing. So like you wouldn't be embarrassed about it.
I was trying to think like I have some weird clothes, but I'm like, no, I love that shirt. I'm like, oh, I love that coat.
Oh, you might own some. You might own some embarrassing things from your modeling career.
Oh my!
We won't bring it up. We won't bring it up. But you may. That's it. We're not bringing it up. Next question. Who's your favorite superhero? And we gotta go superheroes. We gotta go superheroes. Who's your favorite superhero and your favorite supervillain and why?
Gosh, I don't know much about superheroes.
I know you need to because you're my friend and
okay.
You have to. It's part of the.
My favorite
superhero,
legit, as of recently, is the Hulk.
And why is that?
Because of you. Bam! But mostly, it's only my favorite because of that little Black Widow, whatever video you sent me. And I just loved him.
I did.
I was like, I love that.
I did.
That's the whole thing to me.
I talked about that on the last episode.
Oh, did you?
I did. I talked about how I was going to Hulk, and you just reached out and just calmed me down within seconds. Okay. Yeah, come here, boo. Come here,
hug me. And then I was hugging you, and I was hugging a brick wall. I was like, I know you're strong, but I'm like, calm down. Seriously, it was like I was like, whoa. I was like, it's okay. Whoa.
That's probably that little compliment is probably what calmed me down. I was like, oh, well.
She's like, yeah, at
least I feel strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was. That was an absolute. Well, good. I'm glad to Hulk because I am. And I have to mention, last week I said my 2 favorite superheroes that I mostly relate to are Thor and the Hulk.
Okay.
And I said I like Thor because can be arrogant. Now, let me explain. His arrogance. And I thought about this after. I was like, that's not a good quality to make. Oh yeah, he's arrogant. His arrogance comes where he just is so confident that he's the man that can do the job.
Yeah.
And that's what I think my confidence is like. I'm always like, send me in.
Yeah.
I'm the man. I'm the one that can get it done. I'm the one that can help. Yeah. And so that's his confidence. Like he's going to go, fight the ice people, and he's just like, I'll go by myself. I don't care. Like let's go, all of you. And
that is very much you.
And so it's not an arrogance of I think I'm better. It's an arrogance like I'm willing to be the one. Like I think I can do it. Or I know I can do it. Send me in.
Oh, so, I cannot count the times when I've heard you say the words, I think I can do that. Oh, I know I can do it. Like without question, the word think gets replaced by and it doesn't really matter. If I was like, man, I want to learn Spanish, you'd be like, I know I can teach you Spanish. I'm like, but you don't even know. I'll learn it.
I'll learn it and I'll teach it to you. Yeah. It's the power of our mind is very important. Okay, so super villain.
Okay, well, real quick, I also like Wonder Woman because she's super hot.
Obviously.
Put that in there.
Just the Gal Gadot version?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Hats off to that.
I know. Okay, villain. My favorite villain?
Yeah. It's okay to like the bad guy sometimes.
I know. I'm just trying to... Who's my favorite villain? I don't really know villains.
I know. You're such a pure soul, a pure heart. You don't even like the bad guys.
I don't know anything about bad guys.
I don't even pay attention to bad guys.
The good guys. No. The first one that comes to my mind is the Joker.
Okay.
And it's because he's... Well,
Because
he was awesome.
Yes.
But
No,
he's not.
Heath Ledger's version of the Joker was awesome.
Yeah.
As far as the bad guy
that's
goes,
why. I think it's because
as far as the bad guy goes, Bane is way better, right, Nick?
No.
No?
Bane works for the Joker.
Doesn't matter.
Like, Bane's big and whatever, but the Joker is probably by far one of the best villains.
He is.
Thank you. And Heath Ledger's hot.
He is.
And he's also passed away.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
All
Not
those
only
things.
That, just the Joker in itself is.
But
like,
Tom Hardy as Bane made me cheer for Bane.
Tom Hardy is that with the
He's the new guy that's playing Venom now. But
That's my man crush.
Tom Hardy.
I love Tom Hardy.
Wait, was he on that one show with the blondie with the bat?
The blondie with the bat. The blondie with the bat.
You know?
That's porn.
No, the show where they're all the squad show.
Oh,
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Is he in Suicide Squad? No, he's not. He's not the. Yeah, but he kind of looks like him. I was thrown off by that. The guy with the boomerang.
Oh, Boomerang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name's Boomerang.
His
Oh, okay, you know all this.
I know.
I brag about all my knowledge of superheroes, and I'm honestly showing how I know nothing at this point.
It's my blondie with the bat comment threw you off.
Blondie with the bat threw me off.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, yes.
Yes, sir. Shoot.
If you have anybody watching this right now, go and Google Tom Hardy and puppies. Go Google Tom Hardy and puppies.
Is he going to be Oliver Man Crush?
Everybody in the world,
Really?
everybody in the world will fall in love with Tom Hardy if you Google Tom Hardy and puppies. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
I'm just going to leave it on there. Just
I'm looking for
mic
a
drop.
new Man Crush.
Mic drop. Tom Hardy and puppies.
Cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, the Joker.
Okay, that's it for the Triple
Who's
Threat
yours?
Throwdown. My favorite, Bane. I just
Villain? Oh, yeah.
went over this. Come on, come on, pay attention. Stick with it. Come on, Tasha.
Tom Hardy and the puppies threw me off.
Let's see. We're so good on time. I wanted to get into some other stuff. I wanted to just keep going. I wanted to go forever. I really wanted this to be a Joe Rogan podcast where we go for 2 hours. But we don't. We have to come back and do it again. We literally have to come back and do it again.
Okay.
Will you come back on the show?
I will come back on the show. I know you're doing this as proof because you don't believe me, but I'll come back.
Yeah, I'm getting it on record right now, so I can be like, Tasha, remember that
Next
time
time you'll be like,
you're gonna be on the show? Actually, we're gonna get you on the show sometime after we get you to go do jiu-jitsu, because our guest last week, Mio, wants you to go jiu-jitsu.
And she's a badass. I stalked her on Instagram. We're putting this out there. She's a badass.
Absolutely. Yes. And when I went out I went out there just Friday and trained with her, and the first thing she said is, "Where's Tasha?" And I was like, didn't she message you back? And she's like, "No, she didn't."
I did not. I just
And I said, "That's Tasha. That's Tasha. If Tasha's not going to show up to something, she won't respond."
Ew. And you know what? I heard you say that to me the other day, and I was like, "No, that is not why. It's because I just forgot, and I do that a lot. I have no problem being like, yo, can't make it."
You need to start taking Alpha Brain.
What is that?
It's what I take, and that's why I never forget anything, and I remember everything. It's from On It. You know, I love On It.
Alpha Brain?
Yes, Alpha Brain. It makes you think a lot better.
Is it like a pill?
Yes, it's a pill.
It makes you think better.
I take it every single day. I take 3 of them before the podcast because,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I want to be thinking straight. I want to be on point. And
Alpha Brain.
And Aubrey Marcus is my spirit animal, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. He's pretty awesome.
Cool.
Like, I follow him on a lot of stuff, and that's why I started using On It products. There's tons of neurotropics out there that you know, help you to think more clearly and have more cognitive thought. There's tons out there. But Aubrey Marcus has a lot of philosophies in his life, the way he lives his life, that I agree with, that I like.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm going to use his product.
So you're on it.
I'm on it with On It. I'm on it with On It.
I'm on it with On It.
So you need to start taking that, because then you won't forget to text people back.
Okay.
All right.
I'm on it.
All right. Well, that's it. That's it. Tasha, come here. Come here. Oh, you're the first. You're the first hug on air.
I want to stand up.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I love you so much. I'm so glad you came and did this. Everybody, check out Tushy _9 or Tushy9.
TUSHYY 9.
Check her out on Instagram. Follow her. Follow her journey through football, life, everything. She is a role model. Young women, young men, anybody. Follow her example. All right. Be good to yourself. Be good to your. I can't even get it right. I'm so excited.
Too much on it.
No.
Too much.
Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. I love you. All right, that's all we have for you. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to check out us on all our forms of social media. Don't forget to like and subscribe, to check out all other videos, and to go check out the website.